Yeah, we're gonna dive into that. I'm here at Grit Daily House. You can see it behind me, and that's
Yeah.
the stage. We're one day away from kickoff of the media stage during CoinDesk Consensus here in
Wow.
Austin, Texas.
That's great. I've been looking about this consensus conference a lot. I'm really excited to joining up from there. So Jordan, I won't take much of your time. It's all you now, next 5, 10, 15 minutes. Go ahead and rock the floor.
Yeah, awesome. Really appreciate it. Shout out to the BCrypt team. Shout out to the audience who's watching on this live stream. They're doing a great job. So a big round of applause for Simon, the team behind him. They'll never get enough praise for what they do. So for the uninitiated on me, you can see on my shirt, you can see it in the background. I'm the publisher at Grit Daily News, New York-based startup news outlet, the premier startup news hub. We've won some awards for our coverage. I've covered at this point 10,000 different startups. A lot of that's in the FinTech and blockchain space. For us, that overlaps a little bit with our sister publication. There's two, Block Telegraph News, which is best known for enterprise blockchain industry trade publication and work there. Pulled in a small grant from Polygon, none other than Polygon Technology, last year to help get that off the ground. But both outlets launched in 2018. So I don't have a lot of time with you, but I want to share a couple thoughts in the space, and I think something that's a little bit ironic. Here I'm throwing an event, and we'll just start right there. Throwing an event. If you joined earlier when Simon was speaking, establish where I am. I'm in Austin, Texas, middle of the country. It's gonna be plenty warm today. We'll keep people hydrated here at Grit Daily House. That's where we are. You can see the stage in the background. Live here tomorrow, the next day, Thursday and Friday, Central Time in the U.S. Descending on Austin are about 10,000 Web3 acolytes and some of the top people globally. So that's put on by CoinDesk. CoinDesk is under the umbrella. Everyone knows the industry trade publication. CoinDesk that DCG bought for what I would call a song not too long ago, 6 or 7 years ago. And a lot's changed in the industry. One of the things that changes events. They've come back post-pandemic. So my first 3 points for you guys is what's so ironic? We're in a Web3 world. Everything's in the metaverse. Everything's Web3. Everything's virtual. But you can't forget to get out there. Get out to the events. See the people. See the people that you are working with and your peers working at other companies. There's a constant flow of awesome and cool ideas that are headed your way. And that'll lubricate the wheels of your own innovation in the Web3 space. Speaking of what we see, so I mentioned we covered almost 10,000 startups at this point at Grit Daily. We covered a lot at sister publication, Block Telegraph. Check that one out too. I see some awesome ideas coming out. But my second point that I want to make is humans are ingenious at identifying problems really quickly, but they're not always the best at finding what the solution is for that problem. So in the exercise of creative destruction that startups saw, everyone knows the statistics. A lot of them fail. We've covered a lot of startups that have actually gone out of business. That's okay. But one thing to always think about is you might not necessarily, as great of your ideas, and I believe me, that comes from someone who gets pitched a lot in humility. I see a lot of pitches of really awesome ideas. What I would describe them as is turn them on their head, right? That is, they've identified a really cool problem to solve, but not necessarily the best solution. So in humility, right? The bigger you go, the more humble you go. That comes with your own ideas. Continue to potentially innovate and out-innovate yourself. You are your own competitor. Make the adjustments and the changes that you need to get where you want to go. Every obstacle is actually redirection to let's do it this way, to an open door, for another solution that you might have for the problem that you're trying to solve. Might sound a little bit generic, but we've seen it time and time again. It's across all industries, all startups. I've done it myself, solved some of the craziest problems. Some of my own personal background in a former life, worked on 3D food printers at a company called BHEX That's BEEHEX. Sounds like a coven of witches casting spells with bees. It's not. It was a 3D food printing company designed to or set out to feed astronauts on their way to Mars as part of Mars Initiative. So, as applied in our rule set of like my point number 2 from Jordan, Grit Daily, keep innovating because our first solutions at BX weren't necessarily the best ones to apply for one or another reason. Third point, and I'm biased, and I'll end with this one. Media. A lot of misunderstandings about it. Let me dispel two of the most major pieces, and this is my third point for this talk. I said I keep it short and sweet as a courtesy to Simon, because he'll let me go on a lengthy soliloquy otherwise. Media often misunderstood. You don't need to carpet bomb everyone. You don't need to yell from the rooftop about how great you are or how great your company is. Everyone is generally doing that. Often PR people, they'll, as by design, commoditize relationships. You don't need to do that either. Speaking of relationships, big shout out there. That's Agua Bucha by Mother Kombucha. They're an awesome sponsor for us. Check that out. If you're stateside, if you're in Florida, if you're in Texas, if you're in the South, really nice, lightweight kombucha. That brings me to my point, relationships, just like that one. That's how you get things done, right? So often, as I'll say this, and I'm not the only one who has, it's not an original idea. If you want media attention, just make 3 friends. 3 friends in the space. That's all you need. 3 journalists who actually understand what you do. They like you as a person, as a leader. They will generally cover or advise or refer you to other people in their outlet or other outlets if you have a relationship with that person, with that journalist. And just 3 will have a reach pretty much everywhere. Of publishers like me, that it feels like there's only maybe 1 or 2,000 in the world. I'm sure there's a few more than that. It's not a huge number. Journalists, likewise, same thing. There are not a lot of journalists out there, and generally, they all know each other. So be friendly. Get out there. We'll recap quickly on my 3 points. The irony that is this space. You're in the metaverse and Web3. Definitely find yourselves at events as much as you can. That's where a lot of the action's happening. Just like ours at Grit Daily. There it is. As part of Consensus Festival put on by CoinDesk here in Austin, Texas. Number 2, keep innovating. Keep innovating. Out-innovate yourself. Even if you think you have the best idea, what you did was identify a really good problem that you're capable of solving. Your idea might not be the very best one to solve it. Be humble and consider what's next. Third, if you want media attention, get those relationships going. You just need 3. Again, as a recap, 3. That's it. Journalists in the space who know you well, they can refer you. If they can't write a story on something that you're doing, they certainly know someone who can. It's a very small space. And that includes the events people, just like Simon. So Simon, I just mentioned you. A big round of applause for Simon. The team will never get enough praise for what they do. I said I'd keep it short and sweet. Back to you, Simon. Thanks again to BCrypt.